shooting 15 feet and beyond to continue to grow his skill set. And Fernando wins the opening tip for Atlanta as well, having to play multiple positions. Brown cans the three by Matthews, who gives it up for Hachimura.
Rui loves the mid-range.
Working against Nick Ward, steps through from 15 feet.
Now,
McCall from three and hits from the same spot as Brown. Number 8 in white, top of the screen.
Yeah.
His biggest growth over the course of his last year at Gonzaga.
well, the biggest growth came from coming to
A good chunk of time, got injured in February, rolled his ankle against Miami, but was able to come back late in the year. He dishes it off for Matthew.
He got into the lane, drew a couple of defenders, but he always knew he had the bailout pass to Matthews in that other corner. He's also a guy that can run your scout team and have that professional mentality, which he already has.
Bill Vandross last week about DeAndre's growth over the course of his career. There's one part, that's the physical aspect of it. Kyle Guy was certainly one of those who was more of the face socially of the program, but it was his official visit. Atlanta was down. They've now surged back to take a 1-point lead. Three-pointer smooth. No double dribble as it got tipped away. And it's Mooney cashing it in from... Trying to find the open man. Seibert drives the lane and leaves it off for Travis.
Set buttons and build this thing to the draft, so we started accumulating picks. And we feel real fortunate about the way the last few drafts have played out for us. When my guys go to college practices, how these guys interact with the assistant coaches, how they interact with their teammates, how they interact with officials during games. You know, that's
was lightly recruited coming out of high school to a quick career in college. I listened to him on Zach Lowe's podcast talking about he really
love about John is you think back to when he was a freshman at Wake and he was just an Energizer bunny out there. And then you saw the growth to his sophomore year where now all of a sudden he's...
That's somewhat unique.
Yeah, well, he already knows what he knows. And what you want to do is find out what your other guys know.
And it's not as though because you're with Atlanta or Washington in the summer league that's your only chance to make it. Justin Robinson, whose career came to an end in Washington, D.C. in the NCAA tournament.
You're going to play in this league at his size. He has to be able to make that open three.
Averaged about 5 points a game last year with Los Angeles. How about here in Las Vegas? The Aces off to a 10-5 start. Asia Wilson, formerly of South Carolina, leading the league in scoring. Robinson, the good eye. Hachimura gets it into 14 feet and connects.
Pretty good. Good shot fake.
He was walking in socks on the beach, and it was tongue-in-cheek of how he was like, yeah, no, I don't really understand anything you're saying, but I'm enjoying this.
Thing about Rui Hachimura, he's going to make pretty good money with that first NBA contract, but he's going to make way more money in all those endorsements. Back home, your role, and you got a star in your role, and you can make a lot of money in this league.
Can that be the difference between a long and prosperous career and a shorter one? Is certainly has the height of a basketball player, but like you said, not somebody who people are going to pick up on right away.
You know, he's a great story because he played in Luxembourg, okay? Now, next thing you know, he's in the NBA Finals. And it goes back to what I said, run your own race. Look at this. Now, when he adds that, Wall with skill. And he's just learning the game. That's what you like about that kid.
Adams had a little bit of
team.
Adams got by Hachimura, gives it to Ward, who's double teamed on the baseline, but spins out and finishes.
Proved as any big man in college basketball this season.
First native of Angola chosen in the NBA draft, and as you mentioned before, 22.
A little bit of a reboot, bringing in players like Rui and Admiral and Justin from winning programs that have been coached, that have been in college for a long time, that know how to defend. It just makes such a difference.
In Japan and what that's been like for him. He's a very gregarious guy, like you said, no good days, no bad days, everything's great. What has the reception been like from the fan base?
Really exciting for everybody, but you know, the fans in DC, they really, really value players that work hard that played the right way, and he does all those things. So he just buried a three and pointed at us.
A note from Sanan. He was talking to the Washington Post. He said he got a little bit better at learning English by watching Prison Break.
Yeah.
So however you get there, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll teach that.
That's good to see. Nice.
All the way to the basket for the 19-year-old.
Mark Few and his staff. When I spent 3 days in Spokane last October, you could tell there was a definite improvement in his ability to shoot that ball. Scope the bench.
I only got to make his debut Monday with the completion of the Anthony Davis trade. There's three from Seibert.
Excuse me, not Washington, but Golden State.
Friend, we talk a lot about age. Copain, 2 years out of college.
Different spot. You know, where the NBA is right now, if you think about it, is teams, the future is now, right? For the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nets. Then the future is the Maui championship game. Again, you always like to watch players against the best players they'll play during the season. Really nice move there. Sweet move. And
R.J. Barrett.
And R.J. Barrett.
We only saw about 10 minutes of Zion after recovering from surgery, not playing at all in Summer League. I'll tell you what, no matter where Zion goes for open play, and if you're 1 and 2 right now, you can't get in. There's already 8 teams that have picked up at least 3 wins, but OKC can join that group, and then it comes. Mike Cousins, Fran Fraschilla with you here at the Thomas and Mack Center. Atlanta up by 2, and Hachimura evens the score. He can.
No major professional league is like the NBA in that the players are basically business. George wanted out. He wanted to go to the Lakers with Kawhi Leonard, and Sam Presti had to have a guy locked up for a while, and then he wants out. And the better the player you are, the more power you have. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, unless that hasn't worked out this summer.
Do you think that'll change the way that teams approach seasons to say, hey, well,
the ball from the outside, so R.J. Barrett, Elfrid Payton, Julius Randle. The floor is going to be shrunk this year in New York. And the Washington Wizards.
Robinson's got it. Hachimura runs the floor with him, absorbs the contact, and scores.
I mean, Jimmy Butler is the perfect example of a guy who has coached hard, who has blossomed into a great NBA player.
So without names attached, we talked about good.
Little pick and roll action here, I think. Let's see if. Oh.
Looking for Schofield, who is posting up inside. He tipped it up. The foul will send it the other way.
Super Bowl ring.
And Admiral played football until his junior. You've got Utah and Houston when NBA Summer League continues on ESPN.
For the 2-guard spot.
And Houston's got Chris Clemens.
Oh, he's played great.
Out of Campbell.
Chris Clemens has really impressed me. 5'9". Oh, boy.
Robinson hits the deck as he collided there with Jalen Adams.
Jalen Adams. Oh, he flopped. He flopped. He absolutely flopped. Bounds again. And they got to foul him. Yep.
Second comes off the clock.
That's a tough one.
Gets them both.
They do not, I've got many friends who do it, but they're not all friendly with me.
Seibert looking for 3, and that brings this one to a close. Washington trailed most of the game, but some late free throws from Rui Hachimura.